him to stand up and speak, shuts up like a clam. So that is why we have Smart Speak, whose objective is to make you an effective communicator, a communicator who can speak effectively, a communicator who is a keener listener, and above all, a communicator who is a sharper thinker. Now, to ensure that we achieve all these objectives, we have a speechcraft based on the Toastmaster International Speechcraft format, and it comes to you in 3 parts. Firstly, we have the prepared speeches, where you are exposed to various facets of speaking, like overcoming nervousness, facing an audience, how to organize a speech, how to convince someone, how to use your body language and voice. The second part in the session is all about impromptu speaking. We share with you some techniques whereby you can think on your feet and you can answer any type of question anywhere with anyone. It could be a question from a boss, or if it is your spouse who takes you unaware, or for all you youngsters, Valentine's Day around the corner. You can profess your love to your Adam right, and thereby, win over. Then we have evaluation. It is unique to Toastmasters. Here, we give you feedback on the speeches that you have prepared, and we follow a very, very helpful technique. We call it the sandwich technique. And here we first give you the positive feedback so that you feel helpful, you feel helped, and then we tell you where and how you can improve or make up for those drawbacks in what you have spoken. And then finally, we back it up with another piece of motivation and tell you that what are your good points. Now let me tell you, this evaluation helps you not only realize as a speaker that there's immense room for improvement, and you learn to take feedback with an open mind, and those who evaluate become much, much more positive, and that is what transforms us and gives us a much more positive attitude. Now, what are the next, the other areas that we cover in this program? Those are presentation skills, and if you think presentation skills is just meant for a presentation with slides, I'm sorry. It's meant for, maybe you talk on the phone, maybe you speak to a boss, or maybe you want to put up a sales guy. It helps you in that as well, to tell him why you don't want to buy a product. And then of course I've told you what impromptu speaking does, and of course evaluation, and we also add on group and panel discussions if it's required for the people, so that you are more comfortable in meetings. And then your language skills get sharpened, because in these sessions we have a grammarian who will tell you what are the slippages in grammar and usage, what are the good usage of grammar, and then we have an R counter who points out all the repetitive words that you use, the pauses, the ers and the ahs, and this helps you manage to speak in a crisper, a clearer and a more complete manner. And whatever the time frame that you're given, you're able to give your message across. We also have a time manager to ensure that all whatever you speak is given in that time frame. So that's how you start becoming conscious of time and learn to do everything within a time frame. And then of course there's body language and voice modulation. We realize its importance because you understand that if it's just text, it's like picture. You add voice to it, it becomes a 2D picture. And when you add body language, it comes alive, it becomes more colorful, it becomes a 3D picture. So then you realize the importance of body language and voice modulation. And we also impress upon you how you need to synchronize body language and voice with what you're saying. Now, if I see people here, you may think, oh, I was a great debater in college. Why should I take this up? Stage fear is not my problem. Or some of you may say, I'm not in customer care. I'm not a salesperson. I don't have to sell a product. This is not for me. Or you may say that I don't need, my voice is good. I don't have to speak loud. For those of you who have doubts, why should I take up this program? Let's look at the spin-offs you get in your workplace with this program. You make much more confident presentations. And as I told you, presentation is not necessarily a slide presentation like this. And remember, you have teleconferences, you have video conferences, and there you realize the importance of voice and body language. Let me tell you, I get some of my programs with the sheer power of my voice. It's all on the phone, I manage it, and I walk in straight to my training programs. This happened to me with IT. You can imagine how important voice modulation is to a person, and you needn't go long distances to meet a person personally, provided you have the right voice and the right confidence to speak. And then your interactions also become much easier. You can interact with your seniors, your bosses. You have no fears. You can speak to them with voice. And if you're dealing with people from other departments, that is customer care, because you want things to happen. So you are convincing them to get whatever you want. So there again, this program is going to help you interact better with people in your own company. And then, thanks to evaluation, you're going to start with being more positive towards all your team members. So you become more empathetic with them, understand, and try and help them out to improve. And then, overall, you have a much better positive attitude. It changes you, it transforms you. And you will see many of us have changed only because of this positive attitude. Can you say that none of us attend meetings? Why? I think most of the time in companies are wasted in meetings. Why? Because people don't know what the objective is, and therefore you switch off. And you just be a passive listener there, a participant. But with this program, you start listening better. You are able to ask questions, you are able to contribute in the meetings, and then you feel it more productive. And I'm sure you are definitely going to grow up in your career. And there'll come a stage when you call for meetings. People are going to definitely look forward to your meeting, because they're going to be crisper. They're going to have an objective. You'll be very clear in your objective, and you'll be able to deliver it in the right manner. And when it comes to appraisals, you'll be more objective, and you'll be also learn to take appraisals with an open mind. That's thanks to evaluation. And finally, you will get so much of confidence, so much of self-esteem. It will propel you to have a top of the world feeling. And that's definitely going to help you interact with a lot of people. You look forward to mingling with people, conversing with people, and be able to talk even with strangers. And you will definitely feel, more harmony around, more camaraderie. And now, if that doesn't convince you to join, we are going to do it in 8 sessions of 2.5 hours each, and we will need just 20 hours of yours to take this program. and 15 to 20 participants will be able to come into this with very few. So it will be on a first come, first served basis. And if you're not convinced, I have a little story to leave with you. There was this magnificent musk deer who was fascinated by this fragrance around him. So he thought he's going and in search of the source. So he went over mountains, over lands, over water and sea, which he did come across. Finally, he went and climbed the highest peak in his area. Even there, he didn't find it. And then, in sheer desperation, he jumped off the cliff. And as he lay down in the valley below, his limbs torn apart, his musk glands ripped open, the entire valley was filled with that fragrance. Friends, you too have a fragrance in you, the fragrance of a winner, and you can unlock it with this key called Smart Street. Back to the
a bidder for the speechcraft program. No bidders? How much are you ready for? It goes unsold. Our next speaker is attempting project 1 from the ACG. I request your speech evaluator Arun to read the guidelines of the speech.